What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Jet's Fishing Adventures. And guess what? We have just hit 1,000 subscribers last week. I am so blessed. Thank you, the viewers and the subscribers that have got me to 1,000 plus. It's always been a dream of mine to have a YouTube channel that reaches that milestone. So let's go. But anyway, in this video is going to be part one of a two-part celebration for hitting 1,000 subscribers. My goal, my plan for this video is I'm going to actually walk through all of my rod and reel setups to help hopefully inform y'all on what I'm using. And then if you're watching my videos, you will see the rod that I'm using and kind of know, oh, I'm using this kind of technique. A lot of people always make fun of me for having this big crate, and the reason why I have it is I can carry all these rods with me. I can carry 12 rods just right here. I can carry even more in the Hobie. And you know, time is money out on the water, and that's the reason why I carry so many rods. And each of these rods have a specific technique that I like to use for. So, without further ado, let's jump into this video. All right. Alright, so I kind of went back and forth on where to start, but I think I'm going to start with spinning rods, and at the very beginning go through kind of a more finessier spinning rods all the way to more of a heavier kind of reaction style baits. But first rod that I absolutely love using, and you probably already know this rod, but this is a Shimano Celis. It's got a 6-gill dreadnought reel on it with 15-pound smackdown braid, and I usually run anywhere between 8 to 10 pound Seaguar and Vizex leader, but I use this mainly for my wacky worms, real light Ned rigs, and Nico rigs. Really good little setup, and it's $49, so go ahead and check them out. So my number 2 setup, and you see me fish this a lot, definitely in the summertime, and I love fishing a shaky head. And this is my shaky head rod. It's also a good Nico rig rod as well, but this is a 7'2" medium fast action. It's actually an ALX rod. It's called their Wizard. It's paired up with a 13 fishing K-line reel, if that's how you pronounce it. But this is an ultimate shaky head rod. It's actually my most expensive rod to own. It was a tad bit pricey, around that $300 mark, but it is super sensitive. And it's one of my favorite rods, but a really killer shaky head rod. And you can even use some like shad wraps as well. It has a real nice tip on it, but this is mainly my shaky head rod. So this is actually a favorite fishing rod. This is actually one of the first rods I ever owned when I first started really bass fishing. But this is a 7'1" medium heavy fast. It's kind of your stouter rod. I use it a lot for flukes. As you can see, I got the stone roller, Torn Outdoor stone roller. The X is actually the 6.4. It's just a really good heavier duty, like a Cinco rod if you're fishing around a lot of cover. I use a lot of the Berkley, the little glide bait. Can't remember the name of it, but I use that on this rod. This is my rod that I use a lot of little bit heavier stuff on. And it's not real sensitive, but for flukes and any reaction style bait, it's a real good killer. Moving on to my last spinning rod, and you know what, you always got to hook yourself. All right, so this is a Shimano, I'm not sure how you say it, Clarus rod. This is a 7' medium heavy fast action. I use it a lot for like little micro jigs, little finesse jigs. I use it for a little bit heavier Ned rigs. I actually got a square bill tied on right now. It's kind of my all-around good rod. I have it with a Dobbins Maverick spinning reel. This is actually a pretty decent spinning reel for the money. It's a 5-to-2 gear ratio. I got it paired up with 15-pound smackdown braid, and then I usually run anywhere between 8 to 10 to 12 pound fluorocarbon. That's about any of my spinning reels. I use about all 15 pound, and this is a really good little finesse jig, heavier Ned rigs rod, and good all around rod. Then last but not least is this 13 Fishing Omen Black. This is a 7'6" medium, I think. Yep, medium, light, extra fast. And this rod is a very specific rod. If you see me throwing this rod, I am throwing a Shad Rap on it pretty much all the time. Awesome Shad Rap rod. You can also throw Ned rigs on it. It's a little bit lighter for a Ned rig, but if you're fishing real light line, a Ned rig works really good on this rod as well. But this is mainly my Shad Rap rod all the time. I like that 7'6" to get a real long cast. I don't have that many spinning reels, so I actually switch out the 13 Fishing Kalon reel and put it on this one, and it casts amazing. That 7'6" gets that extra long cast, and when you use about 8-pound line, it lets that really get long cast, and that bait just sits there and wobbles really good. So that's all my spinning reels. I only really have 4 that I use, and I use them a lot. If you watch any of my videos, wacky worms, Shad Raps in the winter. Now let's jump into the bait caster. All right, so the bait caster. We're going to start off with bottom contact lure or bottom contact rods, and then go into the medium heavy reaction style techniques, and then the heavy style rods. So first off, so here is my lineup for the bottom contact stuff. I have this 7'3" medium heavy Cashin Icon rod paired up with a Lew's speed spool. This rod right here is an all-around finesse jigs, Texas rigs. It's about, you really can, if you think about it, you can use it. I have it paired up right now on 15-pound fluorocarbon and Vizex. Really good rod, all-around rod, and a great addition to your arsenal. Number 2 of the bottom contact. This is a brand new rod to me, and I've absolutely enjoyed fishing it the short time I've had it. This is my Little Miami 7-foot rod. It's a medium heavy, great rod for Texas rigs. I got a Texas rig Cinco right now. This rod is so sensitive, it's crazy. I don't usually like using straight fluorocarbon on my bottom contact rods, because in a kayak, you're moving a lot, and it's hard to feel that bite. But with this rod, it's amazing. For $140, you can't beat the quality of this rod. Just look at it, real good looking. You know, you want to be styling on the water, but this Little Miami stuff rods, he's really kicked it out of the water. I got it paired with a Lew's BB1 speed spool. This is actually a 7-to-5 gear ratio, and I got it paired with 15-pound Seaguar and Vizex. And here's my very last bottom contact rod. This is a Jacob Riller Ducket series. It's a 7-foot medium heavy fast. This is a good all-around rod again. I use it a lot for little finesse jigs like this bad boy jig around here. I use it a lot for a little bit heavier Texas rigs, a little bit, not really flipping and pitching, but if I'm using like a light flipping setup, this is what I use a lot. And this is just an all-around rod that if I'm wanting to throw something, I can. And really all my rods are kind of multi-purpose. Being in a kayak, you can't really have 20 rods. So this is one of those rods that are real multi-purpose, can run about anything, and it runs it pretty decent. All right, so we are moving on to our reaction style bait category. I love reaction style baits. You see me throw them all the time. It's a fun way to fish. But let's jump into my rod setup. So the first rod, this is a 6'9" Mojo Bass. It's a medium and it's kind of a moderate action. It's kind of a moderate fast, and that right in between. But this is a really great rod for square bills, little big Shad Raps. And I got it paired up with the SLX MG70 reel. This reel right here can throw lightweight baits just perfect. I got it paired with 12-pound Seaguar and Vizex. You know, you don't want a real heavy line for crankbaits. This setup right here has caught me a lot of fish, and it's a fun setup. When a fish hits it and you start reeling them in, that rod just works real good, and it's a fun bite. So if you know me, this is my all-time favorite rod, second to only the Little Miami rods now. This is my 7'3" Elite Series Cashin. This rod has won me a lot of money. It This rod right here is about the only rod I've ever found that can run a Texas rig, run a top water, run a little jig. It is the ultimate all-around all-purpose rod. I love this setup, and really what makes this setup cool too is this Lew's BB1 Pro. I don't know where I can find more of these reels, but if you have some, send them my way, because I absolutely love this reel. It's got a little clicker style drag, and I just cannot find any more like it, and it's just an awesome setup. I got it paired with 30-pound Seaguar Smackdown braid in the gray color, and this rod, I just love throwing it. I throw all my top waters, that popper, all treble hook top waters, and I throw a lot of Texas rig like Cincos on it as well. It's an all-around great lightweight rod. You can fish it all day and don't get fatigued. This is a new rod that I just got here recently. This is the 7'3" Little Miami, and this is my all-time favorite chatterbait rod down there in Texas. Caught that 21 3/4 7-pounder on it. Awesome rod. I've lost very few fish with this rod, and it's just a great chatterbait rod. I got it paired with the SLX DC. It's a 7-2 with 15-pound Seaguar Invisex. No, 15-pound Seaguar Tatsu. This is just one of my favorite rods. Them Little Miami rods just look absolutely amazing for the price point, and you really can't find a better rod for the money. So moving on to the next one. This is a 7'5" I-Rod Genesis 2, and this is the Snyder Snipe. If you know Russ Snyder, he's one of the best kayak anglers in the nation, if not the best. And this is the rod that he custom designed for I-Rod. Real good reaction style bait rod. I was actually using it as my chatterbait rod, but I got that Little Miami, and so now this is my spinner bait and a mag draft rod. Really good bigger swim bait rod, spinner baits. During the summer on Tennessee River, you're gonna get on them ledges, and fishing a big spinner bait that time of year can catch you some real big fish, and this is gonna be the rod that I'm gonna throw. Right, so my very last reaction style bait is this Cashin Icon 7'6" medium heavy. This is their crankbait rod, and this is actually the very first Cashin rod I ever bought. Real good rod. I use it to throw all my DT, from a DT6 all the way up to about a DT, about a 20-foot diver. After 20 foot, it gets a little heavy, but this is an awesome all-around rod to fish small swim baits as well. You can handle a little small swim bait as well. But I got it paired up with a Daiwa Tatula, and I actually have 12-pound line on them, Seaguar of course, and this is just a awesome all-around rod. The gear ratio is a 6.5. So I kind of lied, that was not the last reaction style bait. I have this rod right here that I hardly ever throw. This is a Shimano Intelza, I think how you say it. It is a 7'11" medium heavy modern. This is a deep diving crankbait rod. That's the reason why I don't ever get out of the box, because I don't ever throw a deep diver crankbait, and if I do, I'm throwing it on this rod. But this is a very must-have for a deep diver if you're going to fish one, and it's a pretty decent rod for the money. All right, this is the last category, the heavy action rods, and this is one of my favorite kind of rods to fish, because I love fishing shallow water, flipping, frogging, and this kind of category can be some really fun fishing. So to start it off, this is one of my all-time favorite rods as well. This is the ALX Toad Face 7'2" medium heavy plus. You might ask, I thought this was a heavy rod section. Well, this medium heavy plus has the tip of a medium heavy, but it has a backbone of a heavy. This rod was designed to fish frogs, being able to skip it up under stuff. It's a really good buzzbait rod. My backdraft lures buzzbait rod here. Really good buzzbait. A really good toad rod, and I've won some money off of just this rod. It can also be used as a very good jig rod as well. I usually throw a jig if it's during the summer, or if it's during the winter, and it's one of my favorite rods. Got it paired with a Shimano Corrado 200 series. This reel right here is a workhorse It's a 7-to-2 gear ratio. I would like to have about an 8-to-2, but it's kind of a multi-purpose rod, so 7-to-2 works just fine. Moving on, this is another medium heavy action, but it's a fast and it's pretty heavy. This is the Abu Garcia Vendetta. I actually use this rod for little glide baits. I use it for the old Mike Bucca trick shads, big swim baits as well, like the Torn Outdoor Thresher 6.2s. Really good rod. Got it paired with an SLX. One of the best reels for the money in my opinion. It's a 7-to-2 and I got it paired up with 50-pound Seaguar Smackdown. I use it a lot on wobble heads as well. This is one of my go-to wobble head rods, and it's a fun bite. Definitely on those ledge fish. So going to the first actual heavy in the heavy section. This is a 7-foot extra heavy, fast, really good rod. It's a Shimano SLX. I got it paired right now with a 13 fishing C2. I don't like bashing on the company, but do not buy this reel. It is not good at all. Very clunky. I'm in the market to buy another reel. Probably I'll get a Lose. I've been a fan of Lose here recently, but just do not avoid this reel at all costs. But this is a 7'2", real heavy action. I use it for frog fishing. I use it for flipping, and it's a fun rod. If you watch any of my videos out on Gunnersville where I'm frog fishing, this is probably the rod I'm using. And last but not least is my Duckett Silverado 7'6" heavy, extra fast. Now, this is actually an extra heavy rod. It's their budget rod, and if you know any of the budget rods, the actions are a little bit softer. So it's an extra heavy, but the tip is very nice. And I actually use this rod for Alabama rigs mainly. I will throw big swim baits on it, like this big swim bait. Not sure the name of it. You just kind of look around. But I pair it up with an SLX DC. This is actually an 8-to-2 gear ratio. I like it a little bit slower, so I'll probably end up switching reels. That's the nice thing about having all these rods and reels. You can switch them back and forth. But I love this reel because you can actually tuck it up under your arm like this while you're fishing Alabama rig, a big bait. I'll throw big glide baits on this rod, and I like it because of the tip. The tip's real soft, or kind of soft for an extra heavy rod. And this is really one of my favorite extra heavy rods, just for that aspect of being able to tuck it up under your hand or up under your shoulder, and you can work those baits real easy. You know, if you're throwing a glide bait all day, it gets tiresome. So being able to do that and get that good leverage to set that hook, it's a must. All right, so I just walked through all of my setups, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to think of some ways to get y'all more involved with my setups. And for hitting 1,000 subscribers, I thought this was a perfect time to show you everything. And hopefully you can learn from what I use, my rods, and you can use what you just learned to make your setups. I know a lot of people don't have the money for all those rods, and to be honest, I didn't either at the beginning. And I just worked. I bought one at a time, worked, and then after a while you get all this set up, and then you can really just live your dream. But just a disclaimer though, you don't have to have all these rods to go out fishing. You just need one rod, get you a 7-foot medium heavy, fast action, and you can fish majority of the baits that I just talked about. But if you're trying to get really involved in the tournaments and not losing fish, then that's where all these rods come into play. But without talking more and more, thank you so much for subscribing. The giveaway will be announced probably Friday. We had some health issues with my dad, with some heart issues, so I was going to do it Monday, but some stuff came up. Thankfully he is okay. Some test results are coming in. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see y'all next video.